Hi and welcome to The Winning Factor. I'm Alan Aitken, and on this show each week we take a look at some upcoming races in Hong Kong and try to isolate an element of the race that might be the key to finding the winner. Well, this week Sunday racing at Sha Tin, and the first race we're going to take a look at is race 1, and our winning factor here, the debutante. Now this race looks fairly thin for winning chances. We've got Exponential, he drops back to class 4 where he has won, and he has to get some respect. Fireball has been going okay. Vucan, he should be better for his debut run at Happy Valley. But I think the main discussions here are around the other winner in the race, Simply Spectacular, a winner at his only race start, and John Si's trained Fantastic Way, who is making his racecourse debut. And the fact that Simply Spectacular was able to win his one and only racecourse appearance is a real plus for him. However, there is a bit of a story to it. That was in late 2019, and since then he's been beset by tendon problems, and in June 2020, after the most recent of those was reported, he also had a change of trainer from David Hall to Michael Chang. So it hasn't all been smooth sailing for him. So the query is not whether Simply Spectacular is good enough to win a race, but whether he turns up ready. And I've quite liked his 3 recent trials for Michael Chang, including this. This is the second of them on January the 5th. And you see him in the bright orange colours. He's slow to begin. And Zach Burton then makes his way steadily through the middle of the trial before he rounds them up in the second half to win with some authority in the run to the line, if not any fancy margins. Now, missing the start there is a bit of a concern, particularly as he did it again in the trial he's had subsequently, but the performance itself was quite good for a horse after such a long layoff. He looks to be going okay. Whether that translates to race day or not, I don't know yet, but this one I think certainly will. And this is January 15. This is the 3rd trial by Fantastic Way. He's here in the yellow and purple checks, the colours of Champion's Way for those who know them. And he had missed the jump in his first 2 barrier trials, but he looks to have learned from that and was well away here. He took up the lead for Joe Moreira and also won with some authority, Moreira appearing to have quite a fair bit in hand as they ran down to the finish line. Now, I think that barrier trial by the size-trained youngster is going to make him the favourite for this race. And I guess then the question is, do you want to back unraced horses? So I thought we'd take a relevant detour down that path. I know plenty of punters who regard with suspicion favourites who have never had a race, because I guess there's a question over what you'll get when they come under race day pressure. So I thought I'd take a look back. This is over the last 10 years or more, since September 2010. And the figures show that the blue sky aspect of the unraced horse is actually more of a positive than it is a negative. In that time, you see here debutantes, well, they've just got an 8% strike rate, nothing special, but it is better when they debut at Sha Tin. It goes up to 9%. And then it proves, obviously, as we consider only horses which are in the market to some extent. And again, as we would expect, the shorter the price, the better the record. But what is crucial to note for punters is that they are ahead of the expected wins. So outperforming the betting market every step of the way, and that makes them a good betting proposition. Now, even as a complete group, the total of unraced horses, they outperform the betting market. But when we get to John Si's, we're talking about an 11-time champion trainer in Hong Kong who has really built his career here around these unraced horses. So I want to take a look now at the trainers with these unraced debutants, and you can see Si's dominates on the strike rate, which he does in many areas of training, but in this particular area he's also well ahead of the market expectations with these horses. So the idea that unraced horses are not going to perform to expectations not only is wrong, but certainly in the case of Si's, it's completely the opposite direction to what is correct. So the tip in race 1, Fantastic Way. His winning factor, the debutante. We've seen that these debutants do perform above expectations, even when the expectations are quite high, as they will be here with this horse. And John Size, a past master at getting them to turn up and perform. The second race I want to take a look at on Sunday is race 9, and our winning factor here, the map. Well, I think 4 horses are going to dominate the discussions here. 2 of them rising in class from some excellent form in Class 4, and regular viewers will know that's an angle that we quite like here. Authentic Champ and Leading Fortune. We've got Beauty Day, who's racing well, although without a win for quite a long time now. And a horse just having his second start in Hong Kong, looking great. And we're going to take a look at 4 videos now to show you how they're performing. And the first, we're going to go back to New Year's Day. And this is race 310, and we're going to see Authentic Champ. Now, he was looking for 3 straight wins here in the mainly turquoise colours near the rear from a wider gate, and he was a hot favourite as a result. But you can see that well out from the finish, he is in trouble. He's being ridden along and not really making any ground, but he applies himself very well in the run down the home straight. Manages to eventually get up for second, and I think the horse that beat him there, Charity Grace, is well above average himself. So it's disappointing if you backed him, but by no means a disappointing performance. Then 5 races later, also on New Year's Day, we saw Looking Great make his Hong Kong debut. This is race 315, and you'll see here in white colours he misses the break in close to the rail. But Zach Purton is able to force him through into midfield on the rail and actually following the eventual winner, Royal Bomb, in the light green colours. Now, take note here of the heat map, and you'll see the fastest part of the race is the sprint down the home straight. This was quite a tough race to make ground, and we see Looking Great get slightly balked at one stage in the home straight. I think you'd probably say he had his chance, but he was certainly out-sprinted in that sharp final 400 metres over 1,400 metres at his initial outing. Now we fast forward 9 days later to January 10, and this is the win by Leading Fortune. He's in lime green colours, he's at the rear of the field, and once again, take a look at the heat map. Now you'll see there's a very strong early pressure on the leaders in the first half of this race. That really suits a horse like Leading Fortune. He's able to sweep home from the back, and he wins the race in very good style. And a few races later, this is the final one of our videos to watch, and this is race 334, and it's the turn of Beauty Day. Now, he's in the pink, black and white colours, and once again, as we saw in the earlier race this day, a strong early lead pace over the 1,600 metres. But unlike Leading Fortune, that is not the race shape that Beauty Day wants. He's one of the leaders and having to work during the first half of the race, and that softens him up for the run-on horses in the home straight. Super Football, a strong horse at the finish, gets over the top of him late, but he's a very creditable second. Now we've made the winning factor here the map, so let's consider those running styles that we've just seen when we have a look at Sunday's map. And you see we have the 2 horses who are going to get back and be running on, Leading Fortune and Authentic Champ. One who is very likely to be in front in Beauty Day, and after Looking Great showed a little more sharpness from the gates in a barrier trial since his Hong Kong debut, I think he's one likely to sit just behind the leader. There is a real oversupply here of get-back horses, so I'm thinking Beauty Day will run into a different race shape here and shouldn't have to run those fast fractions early to be up on the speed, while Looking Great, he won't have to work very hard to be sitting just behind him. So the tip in race 9, Looking Great, his winning factor, the map. I think what we've seen of the pace and the run styles of these horses favours heavily the horses who are going to be near the front of the race, and that's Beauty Day and Looking Great. And Beauty Day, well, he hasn't won since October 2019. That's a little bit of a concern, and I think Looking Great gets his chance to beat Beauty Day here. Well, that's all from the winning factor this week. Good luck on Sunday. We'll see you next time.